have the speaker right behind the camera. Greetings, family. Happy Friday. So, because I'm not wealthy and I'm not rich and I'm not a celebrity, I'm doing two things at once. We are out here in this backyard again. So, while we talk about true crime and some of the stuff that has been going on this week in the news, oh, let's also sweep this backyard. It is 109 degrees. It's probably going down now. But today was another hot day. So, since I kind of took the day off from, I did a lot yesterday. My body is like, what the hell? I have on a dress that I absolutely hate. So I said, well, why not be out here in this yard and do yard work in a dress that you hate? Okay. So I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to move some stuff out the way. And then I'm going to sweep this backyard. Oh, wait, I need my key for the... I need the key. I haven't swept this backyard in a while. I don't have to sweep it as much because I don't have the tree anymore. So the tree used to drop the pods and all this other stuff. So since I don't have that anymore, I don't have to worry about too many leaves being in the backyard. But it's Friday. I said, I would love y'all to just sit on the couch and just do Friday Night Frights. I would love that. I would love it. I love it. I would love it. I would love it. I would love it. But I can't do that. I know I can't. So I have to be able to kill two birds with one stone. And I feel more productive when I'm doing multiple things at once. Let me turn this down some. Is that turning it down? Oh no. I think I was turning it up. There we go. Let me hook up the... All right, so we have the keys. So I can open the gate when I need to. I'm pulling up the... This is probably going to get hot because it's out here in the sun. But the sun is going down. Let me pull this up. I do want to do this ab workout that Grow with Jill has. Okay. Let's pull this up so I can read your comments at the same time. If there are any, and there aren't any. Okay, good. So, is that not a beautiful view though? So I'm moving this table. I do want to wipe this table off because it has been pretty dusty. So I do want to wipe the table off. And I just want to do some things in this backyard. So when I talk about these pods, this is what I'm talking about. I don't have to worry about those anymore. Okay, so we're going to do a few things tonight. Like I said, you're going to see me have this on my back because this dress doesn't have any pockets. And it's so little that I have to have on shorts underneath because I'm like, ooh, girl, what type of live are you going to be doing tonight? Right? So, I'm not doing that type of live. That's for my OnlyFans account, and I don't have one of those yet. Okay, so there are some pause because I didn't get my steps in today. So I'm like, let me just okay. Did you see that? I caught myself throwing it across. I didn't get my steps in today, so I'm like, let me do a few things. So welcome, welcome, welcome to another Friday Night Frights. And like I said, I just can't sit. Oh God, I feel super fat today. I feel it, I feel it, I feel it. But there are some days where I'm gonna feel like that, but it's still not gonna stop me from doing what I need to do. So I feel like I don't have to sweep as much. I wanted to go walking, but I got my toes done, so I can't do that. So let's talk about a few things that has been going on in the news, right? So we all know, unfortunately, Nancy Guthrie is still missing, right? Um, and we do know that anytime a body has been found since she has been abducted, anytime a body has been found, the question is it Nancy? Now, what I found out is most counties have, okay, I need to put my brace on, y'all. I'm going to be doing a lot of walking and a lot of bending. So let me go and get my brace. I tell you all, if one of the um, most common uh, injuries is a lower back injury, right? It's one of the most common injuries, not just in America, everywhere. With humans is what I should say. That's the most common injury. So if you don't want to have a lower back injury, then I would suggest you just go to Walmart or any of these sporting goods stores. You can even go and get, I think they have them at Walgreens or CVS. It's the Copper Fit back support, right? Because so many people do these crazy jobs, like even not even crazy jobs, uh, a beauty salon, uh, um, a person that is a cosmetologist, they're on their feet all the time. A barber, they are on their feet all the time. And they don't bother to wear a brace. And then they're like, oh my God, my back hurts, this, that, and the third. I'm like, you should just wear a brace. It's going to give you the support that you need. You're on your feet all day long, right? Some people have these thicker mats, but still. So that's that. Now, I'm hoping I have enough support for this. I didn't put on my normal back brace. I just put on my sweated belt. And sometimes if I just put the belt on, my sweatband, and it's tight, then it gives me the support that I need. So it makes me get rid of the water weight in my gut where I carry my most weight. So yeah, okay. I just needed to make sure I have support. Now, if it's not enough support, then I will go and put on my brace as well. But I'm going to see how this works. And if you want to see it, that's it, right? Sweatband. So it just, as I sweat, gonna have me sweat right there. Okay. So what's crazy is when anybody is missing, or when a body is found here in Arizona, in Tucson, Arizona to be specific, people are, they immediately think that it is Nancy Guthrie. And like I said, I have this on my back because this doesn't have any, this dress doesn't have any pockets. And I need to have my phone so as I'm moving, I can count my steps. It can count my steps for me. Okay, let me be careful. You all may not see what I'm doing. Let me bring you over here. I don't want to move this and a lizard come out, because then y'all gonna hear me scream like a little 5-year-old. Ah! Or a snake, right? Because I'm gonna tell you. Oh Lord. Okay, Shantae. I totally need to water this, right? I do. This is my aloe vera plant. I want to make a little bit of aloe vera conditioner from these. I don't know when I'm going to be able to do that, but since I'm growing my dreads on my locks, I do want to make like an aloe vera conditioner spray. I do want to do that. I did find my Mr. bottle, so I want to, damn it, you didn't drop the water. I want to add a little bit of aloe vera into that bottle. So I have that. What the heck is this? Oh Lord, that's why it's connected to the nozzle. So I have the Mr. bottle. I did find that from Dollar Tree. I just went ahead and bought it from I'm not Dollar Tree. Sally's. It was $9.49 because I bought a purple one. It was cute. I was like, I don't want the black one. I don't want the white one. I want the purple one. Of course, the purple one's a little bit more money. Oh, so I bought it for $9.49. I bought some hair tonic. So I kind of diluted it down. I used my Epic water filter. I got water out of my kitchen sink. I didn't get it out of my bathroom because I wanted it to be the filtered water. That filtered water, when I wash my hair in the kitchen, because I'm using my filter, so much better. My hair feels so much better than me just washing my hair in the shower. So that filter does make a difference with me cooking, washing my hair, cleaning, drinking water. I love my Epic water filter. Love it, I love it, I love it. I'll drop the, oh no, it cracked. Oh no, and I got this from Africa, y'all. I went to push it down and it cracked. Dang it. Now, why don't theirs, maybe it's too hot out here. Theirs didn't break. Okay, well, I'm not going back to the Gambia. So if somebody goes to the Gambia, can you send me one of these? Okay, so let me pour some water in here. It probably needs a lot of water. I just went ahead and started pouring, right? This is not what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm doing it anyway. These decided to stop working. First it was one, now it's both of them. These, right? So I need to buy some more. I'm like, dang it. What the hell? What the hell? It's solar. Okay, so I'm not going to pick this up. I don't want to pick it up. I'm just going to slide it. Okay. Take the little broken parts, the dead parts, and I just slid it. Now, it's so many in here now. I think it's growing another one. So I just don't have time to do this. I don't have time. Right? It's just so much to do. Okay, I want to slide it because I need to be sweeping. And I want to start from over there and work my way to the gate. But I'm already sweating, right? So the great thing is these damn shorts keep riding up. Just why I don't like wearing shorts, y'all. I have thunder thighs. I have some thick ass thighs. No matter how much weight I lose, I have thick thighs. So I hate wearing. Oh, is that a spider? Oh, Jesus Christ, help me. I'm a city girl, y'all. I don't understand. Okay. So it doesn't, we're going to start from here. We're going to start sweeping from here. So it doesn't really matter. They said most cities, I'm getting back to true crime. So most cities have one medical examiner, right? Y'all gonna see me sweat, but that's good. I can sweat out everything that I need to sweat out. So most towns or medical examiner's office only have one. I think it's an archaeologist or I'm wiping sweat, y'all. Not is it an archaeologist? Is one of the people that can um read the bones, right? So most medical examiners offices only have one. Tucson has three. Why do you say? It's because, okay, music, what are you doing? It's because we live in a desert and there are, I think the music just stopped, y'all. It's because we live in the desert and there are, uh-oh, please phone don't fall. Okay. Because we live in a desert, they have so many dead bodies, right? That they find because it's the desert, right? So whether it's someone that has passed away, yep, something happened here. It says video pause, continue watching. Well, why did you stop? Oh my God, I cannot. All right, but I'm not bringing this in the house. I'm not bringing it outside. That's my iPad. I'm not bringing it outside. It's too hot. So they have three types of medical examiner, three types of people that can read the bones of the body, right? And can tell who has, oh, they can break down the body, right? This person was this. They can read the bones of the body, is what I should say. Because being that we live in the desert, like Pima County, let me give you the stats. Pima County, the amount of bodies that they store is crazy. So they have found a body recently, and anytime they find a body, um, anytime they find a body, I think this is by CNN. Anytime they find a body, everyone always thinks, oh my God, is it Nancy Guthrie? When they found a body close to 15 miles from Nancy Guthrie's home, I think 857 Tucson was there. I don't know if other streamers were there, but now even the medical examiner is like, is that Nancy Guthrie? So it says, per CNN US, it says human remains found in Tucson's vast desert have fueled speculation about a link to Nancy Guthrie. Here's what's going on. This was August 24th. Thanks, Emma Tucker, for this article. So it's basically saying the chief medical examiner, Greg Hess, has for decades has been accustomed to the many that arrive at his office, right? The human remains that are that arrive at his office, because it says Greg Hess has for decades been accustomed to the many that arrive at his office every year after being found in the vast and rugged southern Arizona desert, right? The crazy thing is it's the desert. So whether the bodies are out there for nefarious reasons or not, it's the desert. How do you get rid of a body? Just throw it in the desert, right? People traveling through the remote Sonoran Desert die from extreme heat, harsh conditions, and rough terrain. Most of the people who are found dead there every year are assumed to be migrants, right? Hess says because of the desert's location on the southern border. So they assume that many of the people that the remains that they find is because they are trying to get into the United States. They're immigrants or migrants. They're trying to get into the United States. They're going through the desert illegally, whatever, right? But ever since Nancy Guthrie disappeared from her home in Tucson nearly 7 months ago, it's about to be 8. The first question the chief medical examiner says he asked himself when a set of human remains arrives at his office for Pima County for examination is whether it could be hers, right? This is what everyone is thinking. But there is another woman that has disappeared from Tucson. She's not a celebrity's daughter, but they're still looking for that woman as well. I will talk about her too. Every time somebody found a body in the wash or somewhere else in southern Arizona, over the past few months, there is speculation that it's the person's everyone is interested in. Everybody is interested in. Everyone thinks it's Nancy Guthrie, right? Questions for last week. Like I said, when human remains were found 15 miles from where the mother of the NBC Today Show host Savannah Guthrie lived. Okay, so they're saying that there is no in the while announcing the discovery, authorities said that there is no indication, right, that the remains belong to Guthrie, but stopped shortly of ruling out a connection, right? The office later declined. So now, Pima County has for years ranked among the highest in the nation for the number of unidentified human remains, according to the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System, NAMUS, NAMUS. The fact a majority of them belong to people who arrive from another country, and the conditions of the desert itself both complicate efforts to identify remains, therefore hindering missing persons cases, right? Heat, sunlight exposure, monsoons, animals, and others speed up the decomposition. Now, many of the human remains that arrive at his office are either fully or partially skeletonized. Now, this is the crazy part. Where is it? This is why it's not unusual to find remains in Tucson. Last Monday, sheriff deputies were seen at the reported location of human remains on a hillside covered in saguaro cacti, overlooking a busy 4-lane highway in southwest Tucson. The residential area, which sits on the outskirts of the city limit, is one turn off a road called Ajo Way. If you are a Tucsonan, then you know about Ajo Way, right? Leads to the handful of homes with long driveways. Now, just 3 months earlier, another discovery of a human remains were near Nancy Guthrie's home, the one I was telling you about. Meanwhile, investigators continue to run lab analysis on DNA found at her home, right? Now, many of the human remains found in the Sonoran Desert, which covers over 100,000 miles, are believed to be people who often die from dehydration or exposure to other harsh conditions. Um, let's get to the point. Um, all 4 of the land border states, California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas, have significantly high rates of human remains discovered and unidentified persons every year. I mean, it makes sense. California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas is desert. If somebody wants to get rid of someone's body, they need to just put it in the desert. It's going to decompose very quickly, and it's going to be hard to identify the remains. So, anthropology experts, that's what it is. Like Kaplan considers deaths in those regions ongoing chronic mass disaster, right? Now, most of the roughly 150 set of human remains that Hess says are discovered in Pima County every year turn up after monsoon season ends in late September. Now, why is that? We were all talking about this the last time. When last time I talked about Nancy Guthrie and the fact that it's monsoon season, because like we had a y'all saw me walking yesterday. It was raining outside, right? I mean, it was raining. It rained. Trees were knocked down. This was in downtown Tucson, right? It looked a mess. I was looking at a post on Facebook and I was like, wait, what? It didn't even rain where I live. Y'all saw the sky, y'all heard the thunder. You may not have seen the lightning. I did, but it did not rain in my area, right? But downtown, hot mess, trees everywhere, just fell falling everywhere, right? So a lot of bodies, like he said, turn up because of the monsoon. So the water shifts dirt and things like that, and because there isn't a huge drainage system out here, when it pours, it just pours down raining so hard that a lot of times it's a mudslide, so it moves the dirt. So if somebody did hide a body, they can move, the rain is going to move the dirt. Monsoons bring extreme winds and flash flooding that can free remains from wedged or remote positions. Isn't that what it just said? Okay, and push them downwash into a more imminent discoverable place. Those are the same reasons why there is low probability those recently discovered remains will turn out to be related to the Nancy Guthrie case, unfortunately. Hess says he's always been able to quickly rule out any of the human remains found in Pima County were consistent with Guthrie. Now he says his office receives, this is what really caught my eye. I'm like, damn. It says he says his office receives up to 5,000 death reports yearly and stores about 600 set of human remains, which is most of any country nationwide. Did you hear that? Let me say that again. He says, which is Hess, the chief medical examiner in Pima County, says that he receives up to 5,000 death reports yearly and stores about 600 set of human remains, which is most of any country nationwide. In comparison, Tucson's county seat is storing 300 more unidentified human remains than Los Angeles County. What the F? What the F? Okay. So, an area home to 9 million more residents. So, Los Angeles County has 9 million more residents than Pima County. Tucson, not even Vale, not even Phoenix, Maricopa. This is just Tucson. Holy crap sticks. But we are 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour away from the Mexican border, Nogales. So they had a lot of experience with people dying in the desert areas. So they are set up. Pima County, however, is set up to handle the workload. Hess says that we've had a lot of experience with people dying in desert areas. It's unusual for even one anthropologist. That's who it is, an anthropologist, right? What did I say? Archaeologist. I knew it was an A and I knew it was a ologist at the end, right? But it's unusual for even one anthropologist to be on staff at a medical examiner's office, but there are 3 at Hess's office, which he says is because we just get the volume of skeletal remains. They just get it. Damage to the remains could complicate evidence, right? We can speak about that. This is crazy. The U.S.-Mexican border fence, which stretches across mountainous terrain near Sasabe, Arizona. So a lot of times, let me just sweep a little bit while I'm talking about this, right? So a lot of times, not a lot of times, but we do see exploring with Jim. We see exploring with Jim on his bike, on his motorbike, his dirt bike. I don't know if it's a dirt bike or motorbike. I don't know, y'all. But we see him on his bike, and he's down there, searching for Nancy. And we see him find quite a bit of things out there. He's a man. Kudos to him for going out there. I would love to be able to go out there because I love nature, but I'm not crazy enough to go out there by myself. Day. No. It's not safe for a woman to be out in the desert by herself, whether it's the daytime or nighttime, right? It's not safe for a man, but I would think that some of these men will have things to keep them safe. Whether if you're an Arizona resident, you may have a pow, pow, pow. You may have a taser. You may have a knife. You may have something to protect yourself, right? But a man can also fight another man. A woman, mm-mm, no. A woman out there by herself can pose um, that can pose a lot of danger and just unnecessary, right? So yes, I would love to search for Nancy more, but I also know that I'm a woman, and if something, if a man is out there and a man is trying to do something nefarious to me, um, he can probably get, he most definitely will, if I don't get a chance to pull out one of my pieces to get him before he gets me. I'm a woman. I'm not Layla Ali, and men have way more testosterone than women. Period. Right? And they can do some really bad things to us, and there's nothing we can do about it. Right? They don't even have to use all of their pressure to hold us down, and there isn't anything I will be able to do to free myself. So that's just a reality, and knowing who I am. So I do appreciate people that are still out looking, but I also know that if I'm out and about, I don't want to find anyone's body, y'all. I don't. I don't. Do you know how many times I see, Facebook now doesn't, it was to keep people, family, and friends together. Facebook now, you got to click on the friends tab at the bottom, or however your phone goes. You have to click, my heart rate is in the blue, so that's good. You have to click on your friends tab in order to see your friend's stuff. Now, Facebook just shows you content creators. It's no longer, oh, let me see your friends. It shows me everybody else but my friends, right? It does show me people's pages that are my friends that I constantly interact with. But other than that, no, it doesn't show anything. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Hi, Curious George. Thank you for your comment earlier. Happy Friday. Now, so they do find, Tucson does find, the medical examiner's office, they do come across quite a bit of human remains. And like I said, because Nancy Guthrie has been missing for, I think, what's today? The 28th? Tomorrow's the 29th. Y'all send some prayers to my friend. They're going for surgery tomorrow. And we just pray that everything goes well and that this person comes out as pure as gold. So shout out to that person, and we just pray that everything goes well for you. So we know that a number of human remains in the desert, they are unreported. Now, why? It says, even with the volume of lives lost in the desert, experts believe the numbers of recorded remains found in these environments is a gross understatement. Taking into consideration all the people who haven't been discovered, it will be impossible to quantify the number of lives lost in the area every year and the lasting impact on those left searching for them, right? Because we do know that it isn't just Nancy, right? When you saw the two ladies that were out there, they said that they were looking for a family member for quite a bit of time, right? Now, I'm just going to speculate. I haven't read that part of the article, and I need to still sweep at the same time. So let's just speculate. Let's just go down the rabbit hole. I can't wait until I can get this cut, but I can't do that right now. That is for the winter anyway. It's just that I saw it for free. So, but so I would think that it has, the cartel. Yes, I say that very well. Right, the cartel, right? There could be bodies out there because of the cartel and things like that, right? What about the people that are what do they call them? Um, okay, so I want to say they're stragglers, but I think there's a better word for that. But people that go from um, state to state because, they may not have a job. They will just do odd jobs. There are a lot of people that are work in the field, or they work with people's horses, because there are a lot of horse trails, not horse trails, but there are a lot of in the rural areas of Arizona, like even not so much the rural areas. If I go drive about 15 minutes and some people have a little bit of land, I see horses. Y'all saw when I go to the house one Saturday out the month to help out for a nonprofit organization, I drive past a place that has horses. Now, why in the hell the horses were standing out in the sun is beyond me, because I'm like, it's hot as hell. Y'all need to go under the shade. But then maybe they were under the shade for long enough. They wanted to come out and get a suntan. I don't know. But so I don't have to go that far to see a bunch of horses. So if you see some of these people that may not have anywhere to go, or maybe they're on drugs, or maybe they're 187ers, they're murderers, right? They just be straggling. They just go from state to state, town to town, for whatever reason, right? And it's crazy how people take them in. It's really amazing to me when I watch true crime and I see, they're telling me a story, and a family will, or a woman that is single, will take in a dude. He's so nice that he ended up killing her and everybody else. It's just weird, right? But what's the saying? No good deed goes unpunished. Okay. I have to have these sandals on because I got my feet done. So I'm very careful to not sweep my toes. So, so it could be multiple reasons why there are just human remains that are found in the desert and that end up at a medical examiner's office right here in Tucson. There are multiple reasons, right? If someone is, like I said, if they're a drug addict and they're just like, okay, I'm here, I'm doing whatever, they can end up dead. And that has happened. There's been quite a few stories in Arizona that fits that scenario. And I'm just in awe I'm like, y'all got to stop letting people in your home that you don't know. Like men, women, because you never know. There's some KILLERS women, right? There's not just the men. Okay, so I think I'm going to go this way now. I'm trying to sweep around this. So there are multiple reasons why there are different remains, human remains. But let's see what the article says. I'm almost done, y'all. Greetings, Mary. Welcome. Welcome. So I'm trying to sweep and do a couple things. It's hot as heck, right? So it says to help families with missed loved ones get closure, the Pima County Medical Examiner started a program in 2018, making it the only county nationwide, okay, to store skeletal remains in air-conditioned space, according to the National Association of Counties. So, I mean, that's a good thing, right? It's just that if a family member is traveling and they're missing, it's kind of hard to find them, right? I mean, it's good to know that there is a program here where it's the only county nationwide to store skeletal remains in air-conditioned space. That's good to know. Medical examiners typically cremate remains after a certain period of time if they are not claimed, which prevents family members from making identification at a later time. I didn't think about that, right? Because it does become a limited amount of space, right? So after a certain amount of time, if the family has not um, claimed said remains, they cremate them. So unfortunately, if someone has committed a 187 and the family doesn't claim the remains, then they got away with it. That means that they got away with a 187, right? That's sad. That is really sad. Okay, so here we go. Um, Even though it comes as a byproduct of the devastating and ongoing search for Nancy Guthrie since her parent kidnapping in February, Kaplan says any awareness of what anthropologists call the chronic mass disaster or the countless yearly deaths near the southern border is important, because it's not just Nancy, right? There are multiple people that are missing and maybe assumed or presumed unalive. And if the families don't know that it's here, their family members skeletal remains are here, then what happens after a certain amount of time? The skeletal remains are cremated and no one will know anything. Well, that's sad. So right now we're talking about the number of human remains in deserts is underreported. So these are some of the reasons it makes sense that people will have questions when there's a specific person who is being looked for, but the reality is that it is happening quite regularly and actually needs to be talked about more. Damn. Every missing person counts. And that's true. That's interesting. So I wanted to share that. When I came across it, I was like, oh my gosh. They have 3 anthropologists. Most people don't even have one at their medical examiner's office. Pima County has 3 because of the amount of skeletal human remains that are found in Pima County, because it's the desert. They want to get rid of a body, take them to the desert. We see that in the movies. Drop them off in the desert. Okay, so that's that. That's that. And like I said, that's CNN. So if you want to read the article, I will put the article in the description if you want to read it for yourself. If I'm speaking too fast, I know I tend to talk a little fast. So let's talk about Tucson. Let's keep Tucson in the news for a little bit. So there are, I have to put this behind me, y'all, right? So I can get my steps in, right? There are. Now, I was really surprised. I mean, I'm happy I don't have any children, but I was really surprised when I found out the stats for Arizona, for Tucson. It's not, no, let me correct that. It's not Tucson, not just Tucson. It's Arizona. So the states, you know how the states are ranked. We have the states that are ranked. The school systems are ranked, and Arizona is ranked as number 2, as the worst. I said, well, damn, really? Number 2. Who's number 1? They said it's Mississippi. Now, that was the last time I checked. And I don't know when I checked. It may have been when I first moved here. It may have been 5 years ago when I received my early childhood education degree. I'm not sure, but it was ranked as number 2. Mississippi was number 1. Now, I was really surprised because, like, when I went to school for early childhood education and I was going into these schools and I saw what was available to these children, I'm like, why is this ranked as number 2 as the worst? They have a lot of things here. Not to discredit any of the teachers, right? But there are quite a bit of resources that are here. But what does that depend on? The teacher, the parents, not the teachers, excuse me. The parents, right? How many parents just send their children to school? Oh, okay, you're at school, we tired of you. Oh my God, da, 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 da. The parents have to be involved, right? And so many times when we're dealing with children, whether you're in the hospital, I met a nurse recently and she was working in NICU. And I said, oh, and I didn't realize she said NICU. I just heard, babies, right? Children. So I was like, oh, that has to be fulfilling. And then I was like, wait, you said NICU. That's a newborn ICU. Wow, that has to be stressful, right? Like you see the baby, some babies may make it, some babies may not make it, right? She said the hardest part wasn't the children, it was the parents. That was the hardest part, she said. It was the parents. Why? Because um there is CPS. When CPS is involved, she said that some of the parents will go in the bathroom and she smells it, and it's nothing she could say. Can y'all click that like button? Let's try to get the likes to as many people that are in here. And so it's like she was like, you can't say anything. So she was like, that was the hardest part for her. That was the hardest part for her. Hey David, that was the hardest part for her, dealing with the parents, and there's nothing you can do. What can you do? Okay. I'm just moving this all around so I can sweep around. It's nothing you can do, right? When I went to the hospital a couple weeks ago to see a friend, I got to check on her too. I walked in and I had my banger with me, right? Most of the time I don't leave the house without my gun, y'all. I told y'all that. I think y'all know that, right? One of them. And I have my fave, right? I have my fave. I know the other one's like, girl, you keep leaving us at home. I'm like, well, I have my favorite pow that I like to carry with me, right? I love the colors. That's what it is. I love the colors. That's my muddy girl, right? So, but sometimes if I'm carrying a smaller bag, I'll carry my smaller gun, right? But I do have my favorite. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so I went to go see a friend at the hospital, and these damn shorts. I went to go see a friend at the hospital, and I had my gun with me, and I walk up and I'm like, okay, I have my gun. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to pay this any attention, right? I'm just going to walk in, right? Sometimes there are places where it say, you can't have your gun, and I still have my gun with me. That's just the reality. Sometimes I'll just take it with me. I ain't going to lie, right? I'm not going in anywhere to spray anywhere. No, I just like to keep it with me just in case somebody come in there and they're spraying and they're wilding, right? So, what happened? This is so much better, y'all. Since I don't have that tree, it is so much better, so much easier for me to sweep this. So much easier. Let me just show y'all what it looked like, right? Let me show y'all. So, this is all of it in one spot. But look, it's coming out so much quicker, cleaner, it's quicker. It's easier for me to sweep. So, I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. Okay, so can we get the 20 likes? Let's get the 20 likes, right? There's 50 some odd people in here. Can we get 20 likes? So, I walk in and it was like I had to walk through a metal detector. I was like, what the hell? What's going on here, right? So now what was funny is I was just going to take, when I walked into the sliding doors, it said no, no firearms, no weapons. I was like, okay, whatever. Right? Basically, that's what I said, whatever. I ain't coming in here to hurt anyone. I'm coming to see my friend. Right? So, but then when I looked up and I saw the metal detectors, I was like, all right, so the security guard, I was like, sorry, I have my best friend with me. I need to go put her in the car, right? So when I came back, he basically was like, he was like, I always have my best friend with me too. But he was basically saying that he wouldn't have said anything, but um, there's the metal detectors are there. Now the crazy thing is I'm like, wait, so you're telling me people come in here and do things? He said, yes. There was a shooting at another hospital. I said, wait, what? Who the hell going into the hospital? Yo, I swear, sometimes I feel like I live in a bubble because I be minding my damn business. I'm not gonna lie. I be minding my business. But yes, he said that there was a pow pow at a shooting at another hospital, not the hospital I was at, but there was a shooting at another hospital. And this hospital was down nearby the university, right? I think it was Banner. Yeah, I think it was Banner that I was at. It was by the university. So it's a teaching hospital, right? Shout out to the people that are in school. Shout out to my physical therapists that are in school that will be graduating in May. Shout out to the doctors, the nurses, the lawyers, the accountants. Shout out to all of my people that are in school in higher learning, trying to better yourselves. Shout out to you, because this ain't easy. It ain't easy. I was up till midnight doing my topics and calculus homework. Why? Because it's math. And I'm like, I told you I was going to do something. I think I have 4 more problems left, and then I'll do my economics homework. Oh, okay. I need you to move so I can sweep behind you. Okay. So there is an issue with people going into these hospitals. Wow, y'all. I've been sweeping. Look, it's green. It's green. Tell me housework won't get you, not housework, yard work won't get that heart rate up, right? Okay. So now I went into left field. Now let's get back to the school systems, the school, Tucson Unified School District. I think that's what it's called. Thank you, y'all, for clicking the like button. I appreciate you all. So the security guard at the hospital was very nice. He was very nice. But I did have to take my gun and put it in the car. I did, because they had a metal detector, which was crazy. So there was an article that came out recently in regards to Tucson Unified School District, and they're closing 10 schools. 10 schools. Even, like, I think I told you all, the university, the U of A, I think they're closing 4 or 5 dorms because the enrollment is down. Now, a lot of times, y'all, I read the comments. I don't know about you all, but I read the comments when I'm on social media because I want to know what other people are saying. And some of the parents are like, some of the people are like, well, it's probably down because of the crime. Now, I don't know. They said the mayor is really, I'm just going to tell you what I hear. A lot of the people don't like the mayor. They don't like the mayor here in Tucson. They're saying that the mayor is saying that, is it the mayor? Whoever Romero is. I think it's the mayor. I have to double check. I think it's the mayor, but they're saying that they don't like her because she is saying that crime is down when it's not, right? Things are happening and they are not prosecuting these people. And people are very unhappy with that. And they're like, we're going to vote her out. We're going to vote her out. I can say that with what I went through with the fraud and how the district attorney's office sent me a letter, and I wasn't happy about that. And I was like, wait, hold on. What? This is why I say, y'all, real talk. With these criminals, it makes me want to be law enforcement. I don't want to be police, but I do want to chase white collar crimes because I'm able to. There's some people that have a gift where they can track things, they can track money, and I was able to do that myself with the bank account and with me being scammed. I was able to do that myself. So imagine if I had FBI clearance. What? Y'all, I would be working nonstop. 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 I will be working nonstop. Um, Overtime, chasing that money. Right? I really would. I'm not gonna lie. That would be my life. But I can't work for the FBI because I think the cutoff age is like 30 something. Even though the Army has decided to up the age for accepting people into the Army, the FBI hasn't done it. And I'm still past the age. So I think it's better for me to just focus on what I'm focusing on. Yes, my accounting degree, but to work for an airline. You know, if I work for, if I can do on the side for a project, working with forensic accounting with the FBI, just for a project, that would be nice. But I don't think I'll be able to do that. So I think on the side, I'll probably do taxes. This guy was like, I want to teach you how to do taxes. Don't you want to do taxes? I was like, what? So, and just make some money on the side like that. Oh, it's hot. Okay. I'm almost done though. So, Tucson Unified School District is closing 10 schools in Tucson. 10 schools, y'all. Now, they have not said which schools they are closing. They haven't shared that. And it's probably because, like, they don't want to scare the school, the employees working at the school. I don't know why. But, oh, thank you, God. Hold on. Oh, man. I thought the breeze was fully coming. It was a quick breeze. That's it. Just a quick one. Just a quick one. Okay. But the heart rate is in the green again. So, they are closing 10 schools here in Tucson, which is so unfortunate. Now, why are they closing it? They said due to enrollment. I'm like, are people having less children? Or do people go to jail nowadays for not, like for truancy? You remember back in the day when I was in school, if you were not in school, we had a truancy officer, right? Why do they don't have that anymore? Like a truancy officer to go out and looking for. This was in the inner city. This was in Jersey. They had a truancy. Like if you weren't in school. Let me turn this. I'm almost at the end. If you weren't in school back in the day, right? In Jersey, what happened? Let's put this here. What? No. You're not gonna be able to see. If you weren't in school, what happened? Oh, Shirley, it was the funding. Well, thank you for sharing that. So since it was the funding, that means that they had to cut down on employees. Now I'm going to tell you, Shirley, in New Jersey, one of the lights came on. Now, one of them came on. I don't know what happened to the other ones. Right? Just one of them came on. Now, okay, so all right, you said it was the fund. Okay. So now, two. Oh, look. There it is. It was still getting light. You see it? Okay, not that one though, right? Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. All right, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay. So, greetings, humble goddess is me. I think that was your name. I'm sweating, y'all. I'm sweating. So, okay, so Shirley, you said it was the funding. Okay, so let me figure. Now, one thing that I did not like in the town that I lived in, right? I'm gonna tell you what I didn't like. What I learned. was that the athletic director was paid six figures. Why is the athletic director getting paid 100 and some odd dollars and the teachers were getting paid about 40? If that, right? But get this, the custodians, they were getting paid $50,000. So we know that there is a disparaging breakdown, right, of what's actually happening and what people are getting paid for, right? Who makes that decision? The school board. But how many of the parents are going to the school board meetings, right? And I'm talking about the Black community because that's where I went to school. I went to a high school in a predominantly Black neighborhood, right? I saw that they weren't there. The parents weren't there. So if the parents aren't there to hold the school board members accountable, I can take these sunglasses off. They can do whatever they want to do with the money. So, but if we're not actively involved, then yes, an athletic director will receive way more money than a damn teacher, or a custodian will be paid. And there was plenty of PDF file custodians there. Lord Jesus. Hide your children, hide your wives, y'all. Hide your children, hide your children. Hide your children, be involved, talk to them. I don't care if they don't want to talk, make them talk to you, right? Start from birth, talking to them, letting them know that it's okay, that it's a safe space for you to be able to talk to me about what is going on in your life. And there will be no judgment, because the amount of PDF files that were custodians in the school that I went to was absolutely astounding. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. And as an adult, I'm like, holy crap. As a child, you really don't realize these young girls are getting attention from these older men, right? Not saying these young boys, these older men. These were men, right? And they're just happy that they're getting attention. And these dudes are actually just PDF files. That's all they are, just PDF files, right? Knowing that they should be trying to date women their own age, not high school girls, which was a hot mess. So, I didn't understand. So, okay, let me read y'all comments, because I want to know where does the budget come from? Why is an athletic director being paid over 100,000? It was over 100,000. Why is the athletic director being paid over 100,000 and they get rid of the truancy officers? I mean, it's supposed to be about the school. It's supposed to be about the students, right? So let's see. So Tony, so you're telling me, I'm gonna get back to your other comments. So Tony, you're telling me that that it's the young girls, it's the girls' fault? You telling me that it's the girls' fault? That an adult looking at, trying to holler at, because even if the girl is young and she's lusting, isn't it the grown man's fault? Isn't it the grown man's fault to put her in her place? But no, I saw a bunch of men messing with young girls. So I don't understand the dudes that blame the girls, right? You're going to blame a child rather than blaming a grown man? I don't agree with that, sir. I don't agree with that. But I feel like with that type of mentality, that is why so many of these older men were messing with these young girls in school. Period. 6 schools have closed since 2022 here in Washington, D.C. 2 closed just last year, and the saying was the budget. Imagine pretending the NGA singles are going to be involved in a positive way in their children's lives. Some are, some aren't. It's just sad. It's sad. Because my single mom was involved in my life, right? And she was at the school board meetings, but it's really unfortunate when parents, Even if you can't make it to all of them, it would be appreciative if they could make it to some of them, right? But I didn't see that. I did not see parents at the school board meetings. I didn't see that. And I feel like that is why so many things where money, this is why money went where it wanted to go. It went into people's pockets and it didn't go into the school system. Like, we didn't have books, we had printouts. I'm like, wait, so but Title One, I think they're called Title One schools. Inner city schools, they get all of this money from the government. Where's the money going? So people do need to be involved. Okay, so it says TUSD has explicitly chosen not to release a public list of specific schools targeted for closure. The district is actively evaluating all 88 campuses across the district under a newly, approved community engagement timeline to address severe budget restraints. That's what someone else just said. It's the budget restraints, right? It's the budget restraints. No, I look, Tony, you're still putting the responsibility on a child. A child can be, let's just for what you're saying, let's for lack of for um let's play devil's advocate. Let's say it's the young girls, they hot. Hey, how you doing, daddy? Hello, daddy. You telling me a grown ass man can't say no? Well, then his ass need to be in prison, because children are going to make mistakes. They're children. But if you a grown man and she's hot and you okay, then that's your fault. That's the dude's fault, because it's the man that's the responsibility, the adult, not the children. So, and that's my take on it. I don't understand these grown people that always want to blame children for things when children are children. They're underage. But a grown 30-year-old man, you don't know to leave a young girl alone, then maybe they are PDF files and they don't want to say it, because that's just what it is. The evaluation process, the primary reasons driving these potential closures, and the specific timelines are detailed. Declining student enrollment. Holy crap, those numbers are horrible. They projected TUSD projected a 2% decline in enrollment for the current school year. Some individual campuses, such as Booth Thicket, have witnessed drop-offs as high as 66% since 2018. State funding losses, because Arizona public school funding is tied directly to the student count. Fewer enrolled students equate to a drastic reduction in state education funding. It says TUSD has estimated that the student attrition will cost the district nearly $8 million in lost revenue. Holy crap sticks. And it says optimization of resources. District administrators aim to consolidate under enrolled schools to redirect resources. Merging schools will help improve student to teacher ratios and allow more focused placement of safety monitors, counselors, and support staff. Dang. So the TUSD governing board narrowly passed a 3-2 vote to advance a phased consolidation framework, targeting simple logistics first, data evaluation, public speculation. While formal listings remain restricted, board conversations and district data highlight campuses with steep enrollment drops, just such as Saguaro, Catalina, Chola, Santa Rita high schools. The district will hold public information forums at Saguaro, Catalina, and Chola. So this is the public feedback and approval process will unfold over the remaining months of the year, September, October, November. So in September, the district will host 3 public community meetings across Tucson to distribute regional data and collect input from parents and staff. October, TUSD plans to officially notify individual schools if they are being formally recommended for consolidation or closure. And then it says December, the final strategic consolidation proposal will be presented to the TUSD governing board for official vote. Dang. We all know that the amphitheater public school, I think that was closed. That was a school for the deaf and the blind, and they were closed. I think that they were closed due to they said asbestos. I think the building was too old. The schools, okay, so Humble Goddess says the schools here have to maintain just about to full capacity in order to keep receiving funding for the entire school. So yeah, that was the thing here. That's how they get funded, student ratio. And it's but I'm gonna tell you all, when I talk to some of the Latinos here, oh my God, some of the stuff these young people go through is absolutely insane. I keep hitting the table, y'all. Sorry. It's absolutely insane what they go through as young people. I'm just like, whoa. Oh my gosh. Some of them don't have um hmm, mm, yeah, people are just straight racist. So it's unfortunate that some of them don't have um they don't have a good support system. They don't have a good support system. I don't know, if there are people that are on drugs and things like that. It's just it's extremely unfortunate what happens to some of these young people and what they're going through. But I have burned 398 calories so far. Okay, so let's talk about I'm going to talk about two more things. So now this was a crazy article. Well, I'll finish with that one. Do you all remember I think it was some months ago where maybe like a month or two ago where I was talking about Meta and Google, comma LLC, aka YouTube, and all of whatever is under Google was sued. Y'all remember that, right? And they lost, right? I think the case was in California. I had to sign up. I think it was the New York Times. I think it was the New York Times. Yeah, because I think the New York Post we can read. The New York Times, you have to have a subscription. So we remember it was like 254 million, and we were saying that's nothing, right? That's nothing for Google and um, Meta, 250 some odd thousand. Well, Meta just settled, I think, for 17.1 billion. Now, I really want to know. I'm going to look through this article. I would love to know how many people, and it may not say it, but I would love to know how many people were involved in this lawsuit. I would love to know that, because billion, this is not 254 million. This is 17 billion dollars, right? That they had to pay. Now, and they settled. They settled for that. They settled. I guess they settled out of court because, I mean, and what was it for? It was because these algorithms were targeting. Okay, I feel like I'm sweeping up this and the bugs are trying to eat me up. So they were targeting these young children, right? They were targeting these young children, just like these grown men that I was talking about. They were targeting these young children, and I think they committed. They unalived themselves. I'm going to let me just finish sweeping this, and then I'm going to read that article because I didn't get a chance to read it. I came across it, and I was like, "What in the hell?" But that's a big settlement. Now, since the time that I did that Friday Night Frights, when we reviewed that article in the New York Times, I have seen Zuckerberg in court. I think it was like in Minnesota. So I feel like that case set a precedent where other states were able to sue. And we do know, like, I just feel like I was saying earlier, you get on YouTube, I mean, you get on Facebook and even YouTube. Let me start with YouTube. You get on YouTube, you see a channel, you're like, hey, don't recommend this. I don't want to see this. Next thing you know, you see it again. Hey, I don't want to see this. It keeps showing it to you, right? Like you didn't press, not interested, don't recommend channel, right? So, now, even with Facebook, you get on Facebook now. Facebook used to be for friends and family. How many of you all actually see your friends? How many people actually see their friends' pages? No, you have to go and click on the little two people at the bottom to see your friends' pages. Now it's just content creators, content creators, content creators. And then you think about it. How do these people make money? They're selling our data. They're getting our cookies. They're tracking our phones. And they're selling our data. This is why I wanted, ouch, crap. All right, so I'm going to take these and put them up here so they can get some light. Where's the other one? I'm going to put them up here so they can get some light. And, well, where's the other bottom part to this? Okay. All right, I don't know. There was a show called The Audacity. And I feel like that's what it was about. Let me lock this before I forget. Okay. All right. I can't do it that way. For some reason it won't work. Oh, wait. Is it? Go in the hole. Please. Please, please, please. All right. I might have to go outside and do it. Oh, I think I got it. Oh, great. They must be at the pool. Okay. So this is swept. And I'm grateful that that's swept. Y'all, I'm only at an hour and 18 minutes. Perfect, 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 perfect. Okay. Meta is paying that money to the state governments to fund youth mental health services, education, and platform changes. Thank you for that. Is that Willie? W. Mills. Now, all I'm going to say is, you know, when things like this happen, we all hope and pray that that's where the money goes. We just hope and pray that that's where the money goes, right? I'm going to try to lift one of those. I need to start selling this wood, but I got to see if I can lift it. Those tree stumps are heavy as heck. So we're hoping that that's where the money goes, right? It says that that's what they're doing. Let me see. Okay, thank you for that, W. Mills. So the article states, this is per CBSnews.com, Meta settles social media addiction suit with states, like you said, for up to $17.1 billion. So it states Meta, the owner of Facebook and Instagram, which I guess is smart that they did that. It's not just a person, it is an entity now. Meta settled a landmark social media addiction lawsuit on Wednesday brought by dozens of states. Wow, it was multiple states. According to the court filing, Meta agreed to pay up to $17.1 billion to the states that sued and add child safety measures to its platforms. Now, I did see recently that Meta was like, oh, we hope that YouTube and some other things follow suit. And I'm like, y'all knew what the hell y'all were doing. The settlement resolves claims filed by 47 states. That is a lot. 47 states? I mean, how many states do we have, y'all? That was almost all of them. And cuts short a trial that kicked off last week in Oakland, California. The settlement was approved later Wednesday by Judge Yvonne Gonzalez Rogers. California, okay, so let's talk about this. California, Colorado, Kentucky, and New Jersey were among the 29 states that first filed suit against Meta in 2023. Holy crap. Now they could have fixed this then. That took 3 years. Okay, alleging that the technology giant used its social media platforms to entice, engage, and ultimately ensnare. I think that this has to do with. I think that this does have to do with. The article that I was reading about a couple months ago. Excuse me, because this sounds like the same thing. But I guess they must have realized, oh, these mofos got a lot of evidence. They have a lot of evidence. We're gonna have to go ahead and have to go ahead and settle this. But they could have did that in 2023, right? These tech giants are not going to do anything until their money is jeopardized. And that's what I have learned with these corporations. You jeopardize their money, that's when they're going to pay attention to you. Until then, they don't care two doodles about you. They're just like, yeah, whatever. You can't fight me, whatever. Until they see that you got a shark of a lawyer, and then things change. Okay, so it states, accused Meta of deliberately designing its platforms to be addictive and misleading, and of misleading users and the public about the risks. Meta also violated the Child's Online Privacy Protection Act, which is COPPA, by collecting and using the personal data of residents under 13, the states allege. Meta denied those claims. It's funny how people just pay, but they deny everything. In a statement on Wednesday, Meta called the settlement an important step and encouraged other social media players to implement safety measures to protect youth. Now, this is what I told you all, right? This is what I said. They're calling other social media platforms, but y'all denied the claim. So what are you saying? Oh, protect the youth. But y'all saying that y'all didn't do anything wrong. They only paid because they knew that there was enough evidence for them that if it would have went to the trial begin, and then they're like, okay, we're going to go ahead and settle. Yeah. Because if it would have went to a jury, they probably would have lost way more than, God damn it. They probably would have lost way more than that. You see, it's like I just threw the phone right on the ground. It's like I just threw it down. Okay, so it states, we just announced an agreement with a bipartisan group of 52 attorney generals across the United States, territories, and the District of Columbia to set a new industry standard, building on our longstanding efforts to empower parents and support teens. A Meta spokesperson said in the email. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of happy I don't have any children, because the stuff that we have to fight against, you try to fight against, you try to protect your children against a lot of things, and you try to teach them certain things, and then with social media and technology, it just turns into something totally different. And you're fighting against a system that I don't think a lot of times people can't win. So it states that while this is an important step, these protections will only be truly effective if our peers, TikTok and YouTube, put the same measures in place. The $17.1 billion settlement, which remains subject to court approval, amounts to a fraction of Meta's 2025 revenue of $201 billion. So Meta made $201 billion last year. Hot damn. Oh, here we go again. Hi, Eliza. Happy Friday, sis. Yep, 47 states. Listen, our city officials are doing what they want and telling us what we want to hear, and none of it is adding up. I'm not going to argue with that. That's what scares us. So the payout breakdown: as part of the settlement, Meta will pay at least $12.1 billion over the next 10 years. What the hell? To the coalition states that sued, and an additional $5 billion if other social media companies, including YouTube and TikTok, agree to settlements in the future, state attorney said. Wait, let me read that again to make sure I understand. As part of the settlement, Meta will pay at least $12.1 billion over the next 10 years to the coalition states that sued, and an additional $5 billion if other social media companies, including YouTube and TikTok, agree to settlements in the future, the state attorney general said. A Meta spokesperson said that the company settled separately with Texas, which was not part of the multi-state settlement, bringing the total payout to roughly $18 billion. I wonder why they paid Texas separately. That's interesting. State attorney generals, state attorneys general on Wednesday disclosed their expected payouts if the settlement is approved by the court. California said it could receive at least 1.5 billion, while New Jersey expects to receive at least 525 million. Shout out to Jersey. Jersey's in the house. Massachusetts said it was in line for at least 366 million. Virginia's share is 353 million. Georgia is expected to receive 100 million from the settlement and could ultimately receive as much as 135 million, according to the Attorney General's office. This is a landmark agreement that sets the standard for future cases. So this is good, right? When someone sues, it sets they call it a landmark, but it sets a precedent, right? So it gives other states and other people the opportunity to do the same. Okay, so while Meta is the first to come to the table, they shouldn't be the last. I mean, I feel like YouTube should be sued. I'm on YouTube. Google, LLC should be sued for some of the things that they do to the streamers, specifically my channel. I swear, I'm telling you, if I had a lawyer in my family, my lawyer would be like, girl, F this. I'm gonna send your ass to law school because I'm not gonna keep doing this, right? But I'll bring them money. I will bring them money. And a lot of times nothing changes until people are brought to court. And that's the sad part, because Meta could have made these changes a long time ago. These court cases started in 2023. But what did they do? No, they're going to wait until you're a week into the trial and they like, oh, wait, hold on. God damn it, they got too much evidence. Okay, all right. Okay, so we're going to settle, right? Because they saw this doesn't look good, but they know. These companies know what they're doing. They're selling our data. And what does in Enemy of the State, the movie, the guy, what was his name? I want to say Richard Gere, but that is not his name. Hugh Hoffman, the guy that helped Will Smith in Enemy of the State. But as long as we have this or any type of technology, they can track us, right? You say something, they're cookies, we all click accept, agree to use the app, agree. None of us are lawyers. Well, I'm not a lawyer. We're not reading through all of that. Agree. They just data. So anytime something says about cookies, I'm like, reject all. Does it matter? Not really. Maybe for some it does. I'm not a technological person. I can use technology, but when it comes to coding and stuff, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Right? But I know how to use software. So it's like picking up software and learning the software like this comes to me like breathing, right? I'm very computer savvy. Even when sometimes websites aren't user friendly, I get frustrated sometimes. And then sometimes technology doesn't work for me. I'm like, really? You're not going to work for me? And they're like, well, it's supposed to do this. I'm like, yeah, well, it doesn't do that for me. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes technology be tripping on me. But so it says it shouldn't take lawsuits. Okay. I didn't even get to that part, right? So they said Meta's the first to come to the table. They shouldn't be the last. Give me 1 second. I'll get to your comments. It shouldn't take lawsuits, legislation, or investigations to do the right thing. Isn't that what I said? But a lot of times these corporations, they like, whatever, we making money, because it's all about the bottom line. It's all about revenue and keeping their costs low. This is why so many jobs are being sent overseas. They say, well, the price of living is too high. We can't pay the people. We can't do this. We can't do that. But it's the greed that drives these corporations. And unfortunately, I don't want to say this, but if I had the money to create my own community, land and stuff like that, we're living off the land, we will still interact with the real world. But a lot of the stuff we can barter. And I hate to say this, but is the world going to go back to that? Because I mean, times are getting hard. Inflation, I'm taking economy. I'm like, y'all want me to be even more stressed out? Y'all know I'm still stressed out about taking environmental biology. I'm like, what are we doing to the world? What are we doing to the planet? Y'all know we live here. Now you want me to take economy to stress me out even more? Yes, that's what they're doing to me. So a lot of times, the only time people listen is when them court papers are in the mail. That's the only time a lot of people listen. Okay, cable dog, go to hell. Oh, poor little Tink Tink. Poor little Tink Tink. All right, so let me just get rid of them, y'all. Y'all know I don't play with people coming on my page just talking crap, right? This is not my daughter's dress, but okay. I have on shorts, ninja. All right, so let me see. I can complain. So Buster, you gonna tell me you don't complain about anything that you use? You see, it's just people. I think people are just stupid. They just come on here and want to say anything. I can complain about social media and still use it. Don't you complain about the damn lights and still use it? Tell me something that you don't complain about and you still use. Okay? You sound real stupid, Buster. You sound real stupid, but it's not, let's just let them go. I'll tell you, my block trigger finger is do do do. I think Texas settled on their own and received an extra $1 billion payout. That's interesting that they settled on their own. So I wonder what they had, what they came to the table for. But I mean, plenty of people complain about America and we still live here. We have the right. Do you not know that we have free will? I can use something and still complain about it, Buster. Your name says it all. Your name says it all, right? We use a lot of things. You complain about gas. How about you don't complain about gas and don't use it? Don't use it. Don't use your electricity. You sound stupid. People, oh gosh. Okay, so they're saying, will the new safeguards help? Meta will put in place new child safety measures under the settlement, including 2-hour daily time limit for teens. I mean, that's good. That's really good because some people stay on social media. Some young people stay on social media all night, right? I feel like the parents should take their phones or whatever. I don't know. I'm gonna leave that one alone because I don't have any children, so I'm gonna leave that one alone. I know what I would do if I had a child, but I'm kind of happy I don't have a child in this day and age because it has to be extremely hard. It has to be extremely hard to raise a child in this day and age, with everything that is going on. It has to be so hard, right? Your child wants this, your child wants that. You want to keep them a child. They want to be grown. It's just, it has to be extremely hard. Shout out to y'all parents that are trying. Shout out to you all because I know it's not easy. A restriction barring minors from accessing Facebook and Instagram at night and muted push notifications during school hours. Okay. Okay. A restriction. I mean, because I know I saw my niece on Facebook and she was like, where the weed at? And her mother liked it. And I was like, wait, what the hell is going on here? Like, she's in school, she's in class. So I guess those things are helpful. Okay, so let me see. This is not what I'm supposed to be doing. Is that a bug? Oh, shoot. Y'all, that's a bug. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Y'all know I don't do well with bugs, right? Yes, I live out here in Arizona, but I'll be scared of bugs. Okay. And I think the bug, I think he's dead. Go on with the God, okay? Okay. I don't think I can lay this down. Let me move this bike. Oh. Oh, okay. I was supposed to do this while I was on break, right? To get rid of the bike, sell it. I just didn't get a chance to do any of those things. Okay. All right. So let's get back to this and finish this up. And then I'm going to go, you all. Thank you for joining me for sweeping this backyard. At least I got a few things done. Meta will also enact changes to better verify the ages of its users who are under 18. Shoot. Make them do this the way they make us do it. The face, right? Make them do the face, right? To verify. And implement stronger, more user-friendly parental controls and limits on social comparison features such as like counts. I mean, you see what that does to adults, right? Um, Rob Bonta, the Attorney General of California, where Meta is based, said the settlement will force the company to overhaul its approach to designing and operating social media. Meta has agreed to make massive transformations that will reduce the risk of harm from its platforms and will do it within months. Okay, we are talking about time limits, stopping notifications during school, a block on the app during critical overnight hours, ban, this is interesting, bans on plastic surgery filters, and so much more. Wow. I mean, why would they even, oh, Jesus Christ, why is that even plastic surgery? These young people, humans are already so insecure about this based off of fake stuff on here, and to target children. So that's good. That's a good ban. As tech companies has faced growing pressure about the impact of social media in recent years, Meta has added a number of safety features to Instagram, including separate accounts for teenagers with stronger protections around messaging and privacy, along with content restrictions. Well, that's good. If you step away from the product, they are not going to make money. Very true. Right? The financial settlement will help states provide mental health services for young people and educate the public on the potential harm of social media, with significant new resources for our communities and comprehensive restrictions on meta platforms for young people. We are taking a major step towards breaking the cycle of social media addiction. There are times where I don't get on, right? I post and I get off. I post and I get off. And what is that for? Right? Protecting your mental health, because a lot of times is social media, they're good and bad with everything, right? When you live somewhere else, social media, when you can show family and friends, you can only have your friends, your family connected to you. You can make everything private, from the public and things like that. So it's good to stay in connection with people. But the flip side of it is the bad stuff, right? Okay, so let's see. Um, they do. Humble goddess is me. People's minds be on the wrong thing. They special. They special. They're special, right? We are considered commodities on the stock market, and your social security number is being sold to the highest bidder. Just let that sink in. So, humble goddess is me. I feel you. There are certain things that I don't talk about on here, right? But what is it? If you know, you know. I take my kids' phones. I take my kid's phone and parental control. She has to ask permission to download any apps and screen, which I control how much time and screen time. Elisa, you always talk about how you do with your girls, and kudos to you. Kudos to the parents that are involved, because there's some people that was like, 5-year-olds should have cell phones. I'm like, unless they're having the alert phone where you call the police, the police, the fire department. Now the police and the fire department are one, but the police, fire department in one, mommy, daddy, and grandma. What the hell does a 5-year-old need a phone for? I don't know, right? But I think some of these parents are trying to keep up with the Joneses, in my opinion. And they don't want, well, my friend has a phone. Back in the day, our parents used to say what? Our parents used to say, well, my friend got it. I ain't your friend's parents. That's what my mom used to tell me all the time. They are working now. You see, all the lights are working now. My daughter is soon to be 10 and does not own a phone. We have one TV in my house and it's rarely on. We write and read books in the house. I buy activity books. I use nature and museums and games. I love you. I love your life. I wish I kind of grew up in your house. But I can say that we didn't have TVs in our bedroom until we got older. And I do agree with that, because some parents have TVs in their children's rooms, and the child they go to sleep with the TV on. So imagine them looking at the Cartoon Network, right? So they go to sleep with cartoons on. I know that the Cartoon Network turned into something totally different at night. Imagine your child sleeping and Rick and Morty is on. What? Right? All of this stuff is going into their subconscious while they're sleeping. So shout out to the parents that are involved. I personally, my child wouldn't have a phone. If I had a child, my child wouldn't have a phone. I think until they're paying for it themselves. I just number one, if they don't have a smartphone, they have a flip phone, they're gonna get picked on. Well, don't take your phone out your damn bag. Your phone is only supposed to be used to call somebody if you need help. That's it. I don't need your ass on social media when you're supposed to be in school learning, right? I don't need you texting this person, what we doing? Did it? No, I don't need all of that. You need to be in school learning. But then I don't know, maybe I'm not in the military. My parents weren't in the military. But some people ask me, like, did you grow up in the military? Because you like militant. I'm like, no, I just see this world for what it is. And I know that these children need to be protected. Period. Yes, they needed to be protected back in the day when I was younger, but dang on sure now they need to be protected. Right? With technology and social media and all this other stuff, how many times do we see so and so and so and so? They had the show, Text Me When You Get Home. How many young girls were taken and unalive because they on and it goes to back to where me and Tony were debating about, right? Even if she was being grown, she's too young to fully understand what she's doing. She's too young to really, she's not mature enough to realize that she's putting herself in danger. What are we talking about with D4VD? David, with the young girl. I didn't forget her name. Dang, y'all, what is her name? I'm horrible with names. I'm sorry. I want to say her name is Chelsea, but that's not it. What's her name? What's her name, y'all? Celeste. I knew it was a C. I knew it was a C, right? I said Chelsea. I'm horrible with names. But Celeste Rivas Hernandez, right? She was too young to fully understand and comprehend the danger that she was putting herself in with this grown man, right? So it's the parents' job to say no. Now, yes, sometimes the child is like, I hate you. You won't let me do nothing. I'm tired of this damn house. Blah, blah. Okay. I guess that's part of being a parent. Your child may not like you until they become an adult and they realize, holy crap, thank you, Mom, for not letting me be a slutbag whore and let my boyfriend spend a night. Thank you, Mom, for not letting me go to New York and go to a club with grown people. Thank you. Because I thought I was grown. How many young people think they're grown, but then they get into grown people situations and they don't know what the hell to do because they're not ready for that. So shout out to the parents that are saying no. Well, why? Because I said so. You're not, sorry, baby. I love you, but you don't understand this now, but I'm protecting you, right? Come on, let's look at this show. The child be like, this will be their face. This is what? Yes. So I'm protecting you from this, right? Not saying that the person that you're trying to go out with is like this, but you won't know who they really are until they show their real face. And by that time, it may be too late. So I'm going to tell you no, because I don't think that you're ready for that. Boys and books don't mix, boo. No, we need you to get up in them books. You want to be somebody in life, right? You need to get that education. All of that extra grown stuff is going to come. You're going to have time for that. Provided that the world doesn't come to an end and the aliens don't come and just take over the planet and kill all of us, then we're good, right? You will have time to be grown. You will have time to date. You will have time to have premarital relations if that's what you choose to do. You will have time for that. But how about you get your education first, right? Get some maturity underneath your belt. So that way, when the dude comes, hey, baby, let me whisper them sweet nothings in your ear, you will know, I don't have time for that, right? So let me read this last article and then we're going to go. Um, our children are being programmed with social media. Y'all, come on. It is. I really don't trust facial recognition because I feel that's another way that these big companies in AI can easily steal their identities. Wow. W. Mills. I didn't even think about that. Can I tell you all that somebody called me today? So I have another phone, right? The phone that I'm on. Nobody really has that number. So once I get rid of this phone, a lot of people that have my number, they won't have my new number. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. Okay, so I got a call today. Oh, I need some water. I got a call today on my new phone. So I knew it was some nonsense, right? I'm like, who the hell? This phone really does that phone that I'm on, that I'm doing YouTube on, it really doesn't even ring. So when it was ringing, I was like, oh wait, that's me, right? Because I didn't even know it, right? It doesn't really ring because nobody really has that number. I may call some people on it, but that nobody really has that number. Now, if this was back in the day, I would take some water out there, spigot, but I don't drink non-epic water, y'all. I don't. I do not. Let me move this table, and I'm gonna get some water because I do need some water. It's still a little warm out here. So, I get a phone call today, and it was on the new phone, and I'm like, hold on, what the hell? So I now what's crazy is they were calling me through Google Meet. You see how I'm upset that there aren't any lights over here? So I think Dollar Tree has some really cute flat lights. They're like $6 a piece. Y'all know I'm cheap. Y'all know I don't want to buy it, but I'm going to buy them. I bought some I thought it was henna, burgundy henna, and it turned out to be permanent color. So I'm gonna take that back, and then I'm gonna go and get the two what's the names for this, because I do like having light over here. I don't like it being that dark. So these just stopped working. They just said, girl, I'm done. I'm like, well, what the hell? Oh, shoot, Shanta, you about to close yourself in here. Their solar panel. Why in the hell did they just stop working? I want to get some covers for these. I was supposed to have been spraying them. I might do that tonight. Okay, let me get some water. I need some water. So I get a phone call on the new phone, and these people are like, they're calling me through Google Meet, and they're calling, it's a video. And I'm like, wait, hold the hell, what in the hell is going on here? So I do agree with you, W. Mills, because I feel like they were people, with facial recognition. I felt like they were trying to take my identity. They were trying to get my face. I do feel, I don't know what they were doing. These criminals, I'm telling y'all, I say it all the time, these criminals are winning. Some think they're winning more than others, but hopefully I will have a testimony for y'all soon in regards to something that has been happening to me for multiple years. I'm praying that things go my way. So that's what I feel like they were trying to do. They were trying to take my face. So I do agree with you, W. Mills, in regards to, not trusting facial recognition. I agree with you with that, because I do feel like that's what they were trying to do. I'm not gonna lie. And then I was like, oh, you have the wrong number, right? Now they try, like, my camera must have been on, but their camera wasn't on. So you're trying to take my face, right? With AI, like you said, with AI, you can do so many different things. So they're trying to take my face, and oh, I could see right in their house. They don't never have their blinds open. Y'all, let me be nosy. They got a real big TV. Oh, shoot. You see, I'm trying to be nosy. I'm about to catch a damn cramp in my Charlie horse because I'm standing a Charlie horse in my calf. Okay. Y'all want to see? Y'all want to be nosy too? All right, let's be nosy together. You can see right into the house. Now, personally, I wouldn't have my blinds and stuff open like that, right? Because I would be afraid that somebody looking at my house like my nosy ass. Okay. The only thing I can see is the stuff on the wall because of the wall. But yeah, y'all saw me being nosy. I do be nosy sometimes. Okay. So they call. I'm like, well, what? They talk about something. I said, you have the wrong number, right? You have the wrong number. No, I don't have the wrong number. I know I have the right number. This is blah, blah, blah calling from Publishers Clearinghouse. I said, click, block. First of all, Publishers Clearinghouse is still out there. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, right? But when it comes to social media and stuff like that, and technology, when it comes to technology and AI, these criminals are just, it's just, it has its good, it has its bad. And I feel like these companies, these criminals, are using these companies to just create even more havoc on people. That's just my opinion. Um, Protect your children. Protect your children. My mom made me watch all those teen specials growing up, scared me half to death. For real. And then I told y'all when I was in New Jersey, when I first moved to New Jersey, there was a girl, Kiana. I'm what the hell, bub? Let's face an opportunity and you want to be in my face. Um, I'm gonna do a video on Kiana. I'm gonna do a Friday Night Fright highlight on Kiana Dees from Asbury Park, New Jersey. And you're gonna see the person. I think I showed y'all a picture before, but I don't think I saw a picture, showed y'all a picture of the person that was arrested for unaliving this girl. And she really didn't get a lot of time because she did it when they both were around the same age. And she unalived her. Why? Because of a boy. I do wish that kids just be kids. I agree, W Mills. There's a movie called The Beekeeper. Is that with nope, that's spelling bee. The Beekeeper. What is that about? I'm gonna have to check that out. I thought I don't know. I messed up when I said when you said The Beekeeper. I was like, is that with? And I was talking about the excuse me, spelling bee or something like that. With what's his name? Um, Ice Cube and Kiki Palmer. I need to put some more water on here. So I'm gonna check that out. The Beekeeper. So look it up real quick, please, with Felicia Rashad. Let me check it out. I love myself some Felicia Rashad, y'all. She is just such a classy lady. Such a classy lady. Beekeeper. Okay. The 2024 film. Did I ever see this? Action thriller. Okay, so it's a 2024 action thriller movie starring Jason Statham, directed by David Ayer. Adam Clay is a quiet man who lives a peaceful life killing bees. His His kind landlady falls for an online computer scam and loses her life savings. Devastated, she takes her own life. Clay is not just a beekeeper, he is a former agent of the secret elite group known as Beekeepers. He goes on a brutal mission to punish the scammers and everyone who tries to stop him. First of all, thank you. Humble Goddess is me. Thank you. Thank you so much. I want to see this movie. Where can I look at it at? Where can I see this movie at? Where can I see this movie at? Felicia Rashad is Mrs. Parker. Um, I totally wish that there were people that were like that now to handle what has happened with me. Oh, wait. It's on Prime. Do I have to pay for it? Come on. Please, no. Please, no. Oh, Thank you. I'm gonna watch that this weekend. I'm gonna it kind of take me days to watch a movie because I'll start it and then I'm doing homework and I'm doing other things. But thank you so much. I'm gonna watch this tonight. I'm gonna start watching this tonight. I have four. Let me add it to my watch list so it doesn't go away. I have four more problems for my topics in calculus homework, and I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch it tonight. Thank you so much. It looks good. It looks. I mean, first of all, anything with Felicia Rashad in it is excellent, right? I have a movie that I want us to watch, and then I want to talk about it so we can have movie night. Um, and it has Felicia Rashad in it. It's a sci-fi movie. And I was like, oh, we need to talk about this. Now, what's crazy is I created the live for it like 2 years ago. Don't judge me, y'all. Don't judge me. I'm trying to get my life together and come up out of this um depression and get back to who I was, right? Um, so but there's a movie I want to watch and that we can talk about it. And I'm gonna create a live specifically for my people that have watched what's that movie called? Um Project Hail Mary. I need to make a live so people that have seen it, we can talk about it. Because y'all, I love that movie. I freaking love Project Hail Mary. But I love outer space movies. I always wanted to go into outer space, but I just don't have the money. I'm not that wealthy. Oh, yeah, okay, the mic is still on. So I really wish that I knew someone that was like Jason Statham, right? That can really go and hold scammers accountable. That would be excellent. That will be absolutely excellent. Okay, so let's talk about this last. Thank you so much for that. The goddess is me. Thank you so humble goddess is me. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so the last thing I'm gonna talk about is, ironically, a scammer, right? So let's talk about this. So I don't know. Let me see what this is. I don't know. Um, the company Optum. I don't know what that is. Optum. Okay, let's look this up. Okay, what is the company? So I told y'all I get all of these notifications. Can you see me? I get all these notifications on my phone in regards to these criminals, right? Okay, so we could talk about it soon. Yes, Hail Mary was the bomb, right? We all can have a movie night and watch it together. I love that. Everyone in the chat, watch it, please. And then we're going to watch it and then we're going to talk about it. I might be able to hop on tomorrow. We could talk about that tomorrow while I clean. Because, y'all, I got to do this while I clean. I need to steam my floors and I need to clean that rug. So maybe we could talk about it tomorrow if I could finish it tonight. It's still early. It's only 8 o'clock. It'll probably take me about an hour to do the homework. Not even that. I only have 4 problems. And what I'm noticing is a lot of the college algebra is in the topics in calculus. Okay, so Optum Inc. is a massive multinational healthcare services and technology company. Headquartered in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, it is a primary subsidiary of the United Health Group, which is the largest healthcare company in the world by revenue. Okay. The 3 pillars of Optum is Optum Health, Optum RX, Optum Insight. Okay, all right. So now I know what that is. So now let's talk about, y'all may have known what Optum was, but I read this article and I didn't know what Optum was. So this is a former Optum. Doesn't matter that I'm dropping water here because it's going to be dry in 2.5 seconds. I've been wanting to watch that movie. Okay. See, now we're all going to watch it. We're all going to watch it. I think I saw it in Prime because a lot of the movies I watch are in Prime. I don't have Netflix and stuff. And y'all know I'm too cheap to pay for it. So, but Prime be having some good movies, y'all. It really does. Oh, they be having some really good movies. Okay. Oh, wait, I don't want to put this on the screen. Okay, so listen to this. Former Optum senior director Karan, oh, not Karen, Karan. I think he is maybe Indian. Karan Gupta, Gupta, right? So Karan Gupta was sentenced to 36 months, which is 3 years in federal prison on August 24th, 2026, for orchestrating a massive ghost employee. And ghost employee is in parentheses, right? In quotation marks, not parentheses, and kickback fraud scheme. So, for orchestrating a massive ghost employee and kickback fraud scheme. Now, Jesus, some of these people. Now, this is what the case entails. When details. When I read this, I was like, this dude was tripping, and he need to be locked up, and then his ass need to be deported. I'm sorry, he needs to be deported because you are a senior. He was a senior. Um, he was a senior director, right? A senior director. So, okay, the case details, the crime, 2015. I need to see some light. So between 2015 and 2020, so for 5 years, Gupta created a no-show data engineering manager job at Optum Inc. for his lifelong friend. So he was a senior director and he decides, oh shoot, water is getting all on my phone. He decides, oh, well, I'm going to create a job for my friend, but it's a no-show, right? The friend didn't have any experience. This is for his lifelong friend, Shangraf Kaul, Kaul. Kaul was unqualified, performed zero work for over 3 years, and collected a six-figure salary. The kickbacks. Gupta demanded roughly 60% of Kaul's unearned pay in kickbacks. So now this dude, Gupta, Karan, was already a senior director. So he was making, I don't know, senior director. I'm assuming he's making 100K, right? I could be wrong, but I'm assuming he's making 100K or close to it, or even over that. And he creates a no-show job, engineering job for his lifelong friend, right? Honestly, I will hope that my lifelong friend wouldn't even ask me to do no ish like that because that's mad disrespectful, right? So I'm going to jeopardize my life, my career, how I feed my family for you when you're not even qualified. Well, that's not a friend. Sorry, that is not a friend. So then Gupta decides, okay, well, I'm gonna demand 60%. So now you're getting your income, and then you're getting more money from someone else, from his income, right? So you're getting your six-figure salary. You're getting 60% of his six-figure salary, and he's not qualified for the job. He doesn't come to work. He doesn't have to do any work. You just create a ghost employee account for him, which is absolutely insane, right? I guess he thought that this was India. He thought he could do this like he did this in India. Now you got 36 years in prison, 36 months in federal prison. Federal prison. The kickbacks. So he demanded roughly 60% of his friend's salary, of Cole's unearned pay in kickbacks. They concealed the cash through specific bank accounts and ATM withdrawals. Total losses. The total fraud was the total fraud scheme cost the healthcare. Oh, it is healthcare. Yep. Okay. healthcare provider between 950,000 and 1.2 million. Now, how was he caught? How was he caught? He was caught. Optum fired Gupta in November of 2019 after uncovering a separate no-show employee fraud scheme. The company subsequently investigated his activity and referred the findings to the FBI. Now, I'm going to say this, not that this makes a difference, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if YouTube be messing with my account. I really don't. So there were a certain amount of likes and then they left. Now, people could have, is that a bug? Sorry, bug. You're like, man, I'm out here in my element. You're going to kill me. My bad. Okay. Okay. Sorry. These are the bugs I be seeing. I don't know how they get in, but I see them in my bedroom sometime and I'll be mad as hell. I'll be so mad. Okay. So it's weird. Um, so Optum fired Gupta in November 2019 after uncovering a separate no-show employee fraud scheme, right? So it says a separate no-show employee fraud scheme. So this is the second one that he has done. And it's greed. And that's why he got caught. Greed. It's just like, if you already getting, he didn't got away with it once. So now he's like, oh, let me do this for my friend. I didn't did it before. I can do it again. Right? And now he got 36 years in prison, in federal prison. It's like, sir, why? Why did you do that? So you got away with the first time. You got away with it the first time. So you're like, well, let me try it again. Well, now you're sitting in prison for 36 years. And they didn't say it, but they may deport him afterwards. Right? I can't imagine the amount of money that he has to pay back. Because, okay, so you took all this money. I wonder, does it say he got money and he got time in prison, 36 years in prison, but I wonder what the fines are, because we know when you go to prison, there's fines as well. There are fines as well. So it says, after uncovering a separate no-show employee fraud scheme in 2019, Optum fired Gupta, right? The company subsequently investigated his activity and referred the findings to the FBI. So he got fired in 2019 for one thing. They sent it to the FBI, and it took 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 7 years for them to arrest him. Because he just got arrested in 2026. This is why I say, y'all, if I work for the FBI, I will be tracking that money, tracking that money, tracking that money, tracking that money. I will be tracking that money. You hear me? They'd be like, oh, she's promoted again. She's promoted again. She's promoted again. Because I can track that money. I can track that. And who is doing this? These are forensic accountants that are tracking that money, right? They may not be all accountants. Conviction and sentencing. Conviction and sentencing. Conviction and sentencing. A federal jury convicted Gupta in February of 2026 following a 6-day trial. U.S. District Judge Kate M. Menendez handed down the 3-year prison term in Minneapolis. This was in Minneapolis for wire fraud conspiracy, and money laundering conspiracy. I'm telling y'all. Okay, I'm not going to talk about what's happening in with this administration. One thing I will say, and I have said this before, the FBI is earning every damn dollar now, because every time I turn around, FBI, what did I do last Friday? FBI, they are arresting people left and right. So something is getting done. This is why I said, well, maybe, just maybe, the people that scam me and the other people that got scammed within, that Gambia fraud scheme, maybe people will be going to prison, y'all. So it says, and money laundering conspiracy. So it's wire fraud conspiracy, and money laundering conspiracy. His co-conspirator, Shangraf Kaul, pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud and is currently awaiting sentencing. So why did he only get 3 years? Maybe because he was able to pay a good lawyer. right? Maybe he was able to pay a good lawyer. Sean Groff, he pleaded guilty. He's like, look, I'm just going to plead guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud, and he's currently awaiting sentencing. Yes, I would like to know the details, upcoming sentence, or detail the specific financial restitution Gupta has been ordered to pay. What are the, yes, I want to know that specific financial restitution Gupta has to pay. I wanted to know that. How did y'all know? AI be knowing. So while the precise final multi-million dollar restitution and fine numbers are itemized during the post-sentencing docket filings, the U.S. Department of Justice for the full scope of the corporate theft, so direct company losses, the ghost employee scheme directly defrauded Optum of more than $950,000 in an unearned salary and bonuses paid out to his accomplice, right? So that's $950,000, right? Total fraud footprint. When factoring in the separate secondary no-show employee scam, the secondary, when factoring in the separate secondary no-show employee. So with his friend, that was $950,000, an unearned salary and bonuses paid out, that was more than $950,000. The total fraud footprint, which was the secondary no-show employee scam that initially got him fired from Optimum in November 2019. So why the hell would you do this? So evidently, this was before 2019. He did the first one, and then he got away with it. So then he decided, okay, let me do one for my friend, right? Well, like you said, greed. So federal prosecutors calculated his total financial fraud against the company at more than $1.2 million. The kickback forfeiture was 60%. Gupta personally pocketed roughly 60% of those unearned six-figure salaries via a hidden New Jersey bank account, which he will be forced to forfeit back to the government or pay back in criminal restitution. So because criminal restitution and federal wire fraud causes mandates, because for criminal restitution and because criminal restitution in federal wire fraud cases mandates that the defendant repay the victims for actual losses, Gupta is legally liable for the entire 1.2 plus million loss amount to Optum. Holy crap. So all the money he got, he has to give back. Then he has to do 36 years in prison. 36 months in prison, which is 3 years. Was it worth it? This is why I don't understand why people just commit these crimes. Is it worth it? You can't even. Jesus, take the wheel. Okay. All right. Well, that's it. That's it for that. That is it for that. So he has to pay back 1.2 million. You have to pay back all the money, 1.2 plus million that he didn't took, and then 3 years in federal prison. And then I don't know, they didn't say it, but they may go ahead and get rid of that ass, right? They may go ahead and deport him. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't think that was worth it. Okay, so let me see. Wait, what? Okay, so let me go back to this. He wouldn't even log. He wouldn't even log into his computer for weeks at a time. Yeah, he was pulling down a corporate six-figure salary. No show. That was a no show. He didn't have to do anything. I mean, he could have hired him. He could have came in and did a little something, right? He didn't do, but I guarantee you, Gupta told him, okay, look, I was able to get, 950,000, or I was able to get, I did this no work fraud scheme before. So I got you, but you got to give me 60% of your salary. Right? That's just dumb. They both were dumb, and they both need to end up in prison. They initially started with the direct cash drops, but then escalated to mailing a debit card tied to the paycheck account across state lines, so Gupta could casually withdraw cash from ATMs in California. Sounds like he created a trail for them to track directly to him. He was definitely being sloppy and greedy. He should have took the first one, and that would have been the end of it, right? But I don't know. Like, I feel like sometimes some people are just too smart for their own good. So you're a senior director, you're making money. Why are you doing this? You have a great profession, you have a great career. Why are you doing this? Your friend couldn't go out and get a job? Well, now both of y'all going to prison. And you got to pay back 1.2 million. Big dumb dumb. So you said they come through the vents, sinks, tubs, cracks of windows. That insect getting on your nerves, huh? Yes. I'm very upset. Because every time I come in my room, it's one in the room. And then we have these things that are called I heard something. Carpet beetles. I'm like, I don't even have carpet in my damn house. It's floor. It's not hardwood floor. It's laminated floor. But it's like I don't even have carpet in my house. Where the hell are these bugs coming from? So now I took a picture and it says, oh, these are carpet beetles and they love fabric. I'm like, y'all, when I saw one on my bed, I lost it, right? And then I'm like, he just on my sheet. I'm like, you mother killed it. Now tell your mother friends about me and your family. And then he done told his family, and now I'm just like, because then in my mind, I'm like, oh my God. So now I'm taking the sheets and I'm just, so they sprayed 2 weeks ago, and I'm just like, okay, so y'all just gonna keep spraying, okay? I'm gonna get y'all to come. Just put me permanently, since I'm paying $7 a damn month every month, or $9 something we pay, almost $10 for pest control. Then bring your ass out here every 2 weeks that you're here, and you're gonna spray in my room because I can't. And I'm just like, so you like my fabric? I like my fabric too. But you are stressing me the hell out every time I see you in my room. It was on the curtain. Then he was crawling on the wall, on the door. I said, no, Jesus, help me. I don't know. This is my first time in this house in the summer. I love the heat, but I'm like, I cannot wait until it's cool again so all these damn bugs would just die. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and buy me a Zevo, right? So, I mean, they don't even like light. They like, I mean, I do have a light. There is a light sheet on my bed, light colored sheet, but it has like little brown. I got it made in Africa. It has like little brown, like little tree stems or whatever painting on it. But I'm just like, really, really. So I don't know. I don't know. So I'm like, maybe I should go and get the Zevo, and maybe they'll go to the light, and I'm like, Carol Ann, go to the light. I don't know. Carol Ann, come to the light. Because I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. I'm just, then they got these little tiny bugs that come in, and I'm like, where are they coming from? Like, they're so, you like, was that a bug? Yes. And it's so damn tiny. And I don't know, like, I've been having the air on. I'm like, how are they getting in? They spraying the windows. Like, unless they are, like you said, they're coming through the vents where they're coming through the air conditioner. I don't know, but I want them to go to hell. I want all of them bugs to go to hell and leave me the hell alone. Stay out of my damn house, right? Where they tell all their friends, hey, in their language, like that house right there, she's crazy. She will kill you. She would say she's gonna kill your whole damn bloodline. So just stay out of the house. I can't. I can't. I cannot. I can't. Um, those are the ones that these big corporations like to hire, though. That part. Is that rain? I smell it. I did. I thought I heard something on here, and I looked and I didn't see anything. But then it feels like somebody's spitting on me. So I think it is rain. I think the rain is coming. Let me hurry up and get in the shower because the rain will come and then I'll see lightning. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to get electrocuted. You know how the grandparents used to tell you, hey, God is doing their work. Sit your ass down, right? I'll be trying to hop in the shower and then I'm trying to time the lightning and stuff. And then my my math tutor was like, well, if you hear it far away, you're good to go. I'm like, oh, because sound travels. Good to go. Good to know, right? But I can't deal with these bugs, y'all. I can't. I cannot. Can I get one more like to make it 40? I can't. I can't. I can't. But it's nothing I can do about it, right? There's nothing I can do about it but complain, and that's it. That's it. So I will be sending them a message. I don't know if it's this Monday. Dang. I guess because I'm sweating my heart. Look at this. You see all this? I'm just out here sweating. So the humidity must have popped up. Hey, Marcus, you want to click like for me to make it 40? And then we're gonna go. Is it at 2 hours? Damn, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes. Oh crap. So let me show y'all my stats. Um, they're not gonna hurt you, but they are annoying. Take some cotton ball and put some mint essential on the cotton ball and place them in the corners and cracks. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Cause they won't hurt me, but they'll give me a heart attack and kill me, right? If I wake up, I'm just glistening, y'all. If I wake, I think the humidity, because it's gonna rain, it's just made it hot. But if I wake up and I see a bug, it's a bug, lady. Lady is just a bug from the B movie. Lady is just a bug. I'm like, I don't care about no. If I wake up and I see a bug on the pillow next to me, I'm gonna lose it. I'm going I feel like they're gonna crawl in my nose, they're gonna crawl in my ear, I just get all creeped out. I get all freaked out. I'm not gonna lie. They're like, well, why the hell you moved to Arizona? Well, it's beautiful out here, but I do realize that having a house, even if it's in a complex, right? Having a house is different than having an apartment. So my neighbor, 2.5 hours, 783 calories. So my neighbor told me um, that she was cleaning and she had the little Swiffer sweeper going under the bed. And she said when she pulled it back, a snake was on it. Y'all, I would have said, you know what? You can have the damn house. I'm out of here. I would have screamed. She has a child, a dog. I would have left the snake, the dog, and everything right there and ran out the house. And God knows, God knows. And now when she told me that, my mouth was like, wait, but we're not in the wild. We're not, hold on. I have a house here, I have a house there, I have a house there, I have a house there, I have a house there. It's not like I'm on an acre of land. So why is there a snake under your bed? I'm confused because I need to know so that way said snake won't come into my house because then they're really going to hear me screaming. I don't have a machete. I don't want to start shooting in my house. That's just going to be a hot mess. They're going to kick me out. I don't know. But she said she had a crack in between her door. So the snake just slithered in. Now she's from Venezuela. No, I'm lying. She's from Peru, right? Um, so South America, she may see a lot. She said, I don't know, there's something that she says she's afraid of, but the spider she's not afraid of is because we have very high ceilings and there was a spider up there. So she said she put something on the end and stuck it. I don't have time for that. I don't, y'all. I'll be in here. If I kill something, because I don't know if it has the crunch. I don't want to hear that, right? I'm trying. I'm a city girl. I'm trying to understand. I really am. I'm trying to understand. But I don't do well with bugs. I don't. I don't. And they freak me out. And I tell them, like, hey, if you in here and I don't know you're in here, then keep your distance. I don't know you're here. Keep your damn distance. But when you come close and you right up in my face, I'm going to kill you because now I know you here. I know you here. All right. So I got to go, and they're starting to look a little raggedy. But yes, I'm starting my dreads. And I sprayed it the other day. But I think I'm at week. Did I get them done last Friday? What the hell? I think last Friday I got them done. Yes. So today makes 1 week. I've sprayed them. I took my Moisturize Me because I make up my own moisturizer for my hair and for my skin. I took just a little dab and yep. So, but it feels good to have to get up and not really have to do anything to my hair. Can we get one more like to make it 40? Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining Friday Night Frights. I appreciate you. Um, I am excited to be a part of the Lock Club. I'm excited to see where my hair is going to go with this. Like I said, you all, one of my closest friends is going to get surgery tomorrow. So please keep them in your prayers. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all for that. Please keep him in your prayers. And I pray that everything goes well with him. And yeah, I'm going to do that mint. Thank you. Thank you. Humble goddess is me. Thank you. Mint, cotton ball. I'm going to put them in the corners. I'm going to get a Zevo. And I'm going to keep telling them, I'm going to do some sage. Get your ass up out of here. We don't want you here. Hell no. Don't come back. All of that in one. All of that in one. Because we don't have time for that. But thank you all for joining me as I swept and did everything. I appreciate you all. Thank you for joining me for another Friday Night Frights. And I'm probably going to see you all tomorrow. I have to do something tonight. I forgot. I have to send this email tonight. Shoot. All right. Let me go because I have to send out an important email tonight. And then tomorrow I have to do some legal stuff. My hair feels a little dry. I'm gonna have to spray it again. I've been spraying my hair a lot with the mister. Um, and my friend did tell me that, once I have my locks and they've locked, that the sun changes your hair color. And it's so crazy that I would see people with like this brown on the ends, and I thought it was. I was like, are they dyeing their ends? And they're like, no, the sun has just sun kissed their hair. And I'm like, I like that. I like that. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this hair journey is going to take me. I thought it was a bug. I'm going in the house, y'all. I can't deal. I cannot deal. These bugs are getting on my last nerve. I cannot deal. So you said if that doesn't work, get a box of botanical rodent repellent. That this will work. Botanical rodent repellent. Let me check that out. Botanical rodent and insect repellent is all natural, and I haven't seen an insect in my home since. Ants was my issue. Thank you so much, humble goddess. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, sis. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Much love, Tay Tay. Much love, Tay Tay. And always remember to love much. And have a wonderful evening to the chat as well. Have a good night, guys. I'm going in here to handle my business and get out of these bugs. Take care. God bless you and good night.